I'm a lit kid, B.
A beautiful evening to you today, the 19th day of April 2022. It's 22 minutes gone past 5 p.m. West African time, and you're welcome listening to Lagoon Radio. We're broadcasting live from the Diocesan Palace, Marina, Lagos. It's another exciting episode on our destination show, and that is Travel With Me with your girl, Jennifer Jubril. I'm always excited to, bring you amazing locations for your tour, your business meetings, your vacations, just name it. And today we'll be looking at somewhere in Nigeria. Yes, we are back home, and because trust me when I say that there are really amazing places in Nigeria, places that you don't want to miss, and they have beautiful culture. They have amazing sites. So yes, we are doing Nigeria today. We are live on our social media platforms on Facebook at www.facebook.com/Lagoon Nigeria. We're also live on YouTube at www.youtube.com/LagoonTV. You can join the conversation on our Instagram handle and Twitter, and that's at Lagoonradio.Ng. In fact, okay, so let's go on a music break actually, and when we come back, we'll know our destination for today. Like me, now I don't used to bring anyhow places to you, So just stay connected and keep listening.
Oníbùwọ̀rẹ́ bàbá gbọ́ pẹ́ mi. Appreciation. Mo dúpẹ́ oníbùwọ̀rẹ́ bàbá gbọ́ pẹ́ mi. Appreciation. Mo dúpẹ́ oníbùwọ̀rẹ́ bàbá gbọ́ pẹ́ mi. Appreciation. Mo dúpẹ́ oníbùwọ̀rẹ́ bàbá gbọ́ pẹ́ mi. Bí ènìyàn kan lọ́lọ́run mi rí o, bí ènìyàn kan lọ́lọ́run mi rí, bí ènìyàn kan lọ́lọ́run mi rí o. This is Lagoon Radio.
I'm a lit kid, B.
Yeah, welcome back from that music break. Yes, the song you just listened to is Appreciation by King Sunny Ade. Sensational King Sunny Ade. You're still listening to Travel With Me with your girl Jennifer Jubril, and you are on to Lagoon Radio. We're broadcasting live from the Archbishop's Palace in Marina, Lagos. You can do well to connect with us via social media platforms. On Facebook, it's Lagoon Radio Nigeria. On Instagram and on Twitter, it's at Lagoonradio.Ng. And yes, we are live on both Facebook and YouTube. On YouTube, LagoonTV. Today, we are looking at Awori. Yes, we are looking at Awori. So traditionally, the Awori people are found in Ogun State and Lagos State in Nigeria. Towns including Adodo, Isheri, Ota, Igbesa, Agbara, Ilobi, Tigbo are all Awori settlements within today's Ogun State, which was created in 1976 in Nigeria. Now, there's actually a story concerning the Awori people. Now, the story is that the Olofin, or also known as the Ogun Fuminire, as the founder of Awori, and his followers left the palace of King Oduduwa, who is the founder of the Yoruba community in Ile-Ife, and migrated southward along a river. Oduduwa had given Olofin a mud plate and instructed him to place it on the water and follow the plate until the plate sink into the river. So that was what Oduduwa instructed the Olofin to do. And several days after leaving Ile-Ife, the plate suddenly stopped near Olumakaiye. Yes, Olumakaiye, which is very close to the present day Abeokuta. And after 70 days, the plate started moving again. And there's an instruction the Olofin had to follow the plate, and it stopped all of a sudden at Okeata for another 17 days. So take note, the first 17 days it stopped at Olumakaiye, which is close to Abeokuta, and then it started moving, and the next 17 days it stopped at Okeata for another 17 days, and the Olofin as well had to stop. And at the end of the 17 days, the plate started moving again, only for it to stop on the southern outskirts of the present day Abeokuta, where it stayed for another 17 days. Like see Plato. Okay, so there's already an instruction, and basically he has to obey what Oduduwa told him, and it stopped again at the outskirts of Abeokuta for another 17 days. Now, at this location, some of the Olofin's followers, they were tired and decided to stay there. They were led by a man named the Oshoaro B. Ologboegon. Yeah, so that's the person that was leading them as at that time. And then the plate continued going downward the river, stopping again at Isheri. Yes, the same Isheri that we all know between Lagos and Ogun State. And Olofin began instructing his followers to begin setting up permanent settlements, thinking that was going to be the final stop. And Olofin's followers are said to have asked him where the plate was. So he answered, Awotiri, meaning the plate has sunk. So this is how the name Awori is said to have come into being. So when the plate sank in Sherry, they asked him where the plate was, and he said Awotiri, meaning the plate has sunk, and that's how they got the name. So Olofin had two wives named Akeson and Ajayi. Akeson had two sons, that is Ogunero and Ogunbi, while Ajayi was barren after the settlement in Isheri. Olofin consulted Ifa Oracle, where they were told to proceed to a place where there was salt water. So they had to leave Isheri and ended up at Ido, same present day Ido, where they stayed. And Ajayi eventually gave birth to 8 children. So this is someone who was barren. She eventually gave birth to 8 children who would eventually grow up to be the present day Idejos. So he gave them lands to farm, so many lands to farm. The Idejos include Oniru, Elegushi, Ojora, Onikoyi, and so on and so forth. So all these names you're saying, they actually have histories. They just did not come out of nowhere and just hear the name. So out of the 8 children, you have the Oniru that we all know, have Elegushi, Ojora, Onikoyi, etc. So Olofin would eventually go back to Isheri, to live out the rest of his life after cutting off Ajayi for betraying him to the Benin people. And that is another history we're going to look at some other time on Travel With Me. Ogunere eventually succeeded Olofin Ogunfuminire as the next Olofin of Isheri, while Ogunbi go through the new Awori towns. His son was the first king of Ota. So that is the little story of how the Awori people became into existence. Now, the settlement of Awori clan is known to have preceded the establishment of Abeokuta as an Egba kingdom, and that happened in 1832. And as Isheri, the foremost Awori town within the present-day Ogun State, was settled in the 15th century. And all this happened after the plate sank in Isheri, and the people of Awori came into existence. Traditions are consistent about the presence of the distinct Yoruba subgroup around Lagos by about 1550, when the Benin Empire invaded the region of Lagos. Like I said, we're going to talk about this in subsequent episodes, so you shouldn't miss any episode of Travel with Me because they are interconnected. So there are histories of the Yoruba people, and we decided to do Awori today. And the Awori people speak a slow dialect of the Yoruba language, and they engage in farming and fishing. We are coming to look at their economy and their language as we progress in the show. But before then, let's go on a music break, and we'll be back, to continue. It's getting exciting in here, and I'm always happy to dish out knowledge. Don't go anywhere. Stay connected to Lagoon Radio.
This is Lagoon Radio. This is Lagoon Radio.
ṣẹ́gun ogun ọ̀ràn wá o ẹ má wulẹ̀ sáré ká.
It's getting really interesting in here. Hey, this is Moti More by King Sunny Ade again. When you say somebody's legendary, he is legendary. Okay, welcome from that music break. I hope you're enjoying the show because I am, and it's still Travel With Me, your girl Jennifer. And today we're talking about our worry. I'm sure you're having fun. I'm sure you're taking notes. I'm sure you're enjoying it. And I'm sure you're learning something about Nigeria because many people didn't seem to know that Awori exists or there's any tribe as that or any group of people named the Awori people. But now you know, thanks to me. You know how we do it. You can drop your comments on our social media platforms. On Facebook, it's Lagoon Radio Nigeria. And on Instagram and on Twitter, it's at Lagoonradio.Ng. And guess what? After this show, the whole of this thing will be available on our news blog. You can log on to www.lagoon.news and check the lifestyle session, check the lifestyle spot, and you will see, yes, I worry to be right there. And we have all of that, all sorts, whatever you want, it's available on lagoon.news. That's the website. You shouldn't miss it. So, yes, looking at the economy of Awori people, their economy. Now, due to the nature of the geographical environment, fishing rather than farming is their traditional occupation, and it is because they are close to the seaside. Yes, they are based close to the seaside, so they can't really farm. They do more fishing. Awori are also great farmers. They are also, apart from the fact that they are settlers close to the seaside, they are also amazing farmers. And in some regions, fishing is combined with mat and basket production and palm oil. So when you find Awori people in the settlements where they have sufficient land, they not only fish, they also weave baskets and produce oil and also do some sort of farming. So yes, that's another thing they engage in. Now, the climatic variation north of the coast offers them an opportunity for the cultivation of variety of crops, lots of crops. And cassava is probably the most widely cultivated, as it could be planted and harvested throughout the year. They don't have limitations when it comes to cassava because of the nature of the crop. Now, in addition, since cassava is a major source of gari, which actually now constitutes a major staple food. Tell me if you don't take gari, because we are like gari. When you want to talk about soaking gari, put granite, put milk, put sugar with cold water. Especially in this our Lagos, you have no idea. If you're not taking this, you don't know what you're missing. But that's talk for another day, actually. So yes, cassava is very major, and it is a source of gari, which is a staple food in Nigeria. Cassava is also processed for the production of starch and a locally produced starchy food known as fufu. Yes, those of us that, apart from a bar, we just feel we need something stronger, we decide to do fufu. And other confectionaries, there are many other ways you actually can process cassava. Now, they have other crops like maize, yams, cocoyams, and oil palm, which are popular crops that are produced in the region you can find Awori people. The food crops are supplemented by vegetables as well as animals such as goats, sheep, rabbits, birds like quail, cock, hen, goose, edible insects as well, such as termites, as well as alligators, because they stay near the river. So alligators, and they are prepared as a delicacy known as oni, among the Aworis of Lagos State. So this is actually restricted to the Aworis of Lagos State. Like, remember I said at the beginning that you have Aworis in Lagos and in Ogun. However, with the Industrial Revolution, it's been pioneered by Obafemi Awolowo government in the late 1950s and 1960s. The Awori speaking areas like Ikeja and Isolo in Lagos, as well as Ota and Agbara, began to see a concentration of industries for which the indigents surrendered their land for the economic transformation of their communities. So now what this is saying is that the original settlers of Ikeja and Isolo and Ota, that is Songwater and Agbara, are actually Awori people, and they gave up their lands. So they moved out from just being farmers and fishermen into giving out their lands for industries, just for revolution to take place. And all this happened during the Obafemi Awolowo government, and that was in 1950s and 1960s, before the independence, and immediately after the independence. So that actually brought about transformation in their communities. So we are going to look at the languages and the traditional festival of the Awori people. But before we do that, we have one more song to vibe to. You know how much I love songs on this my show, because my God, you have no idea. So yes, we'll go on another music break, and when we come back, we'll take a few points and wrap up the show. Stay connected, don't go anywhere.
This is Lagoon.
ṣe bàbá Ẹlẹ́dùmarè ṣóun ló ń dáàbòbò wá lọ́wọ́ ọ̀tá o Ẹlẹ́dùmarè o bàbá lókè o bàbá. Bàbá jí lówùúrọ̀ dá mi rẹ̀ bí iṣẹ́ ọjọ́ wa sì wọ́n lọ sí wọ́n bọ̀ ká má kélé ṣù lọ́nà. Bàbá lókè o bàbá lókè o bàbá. Tí kò ìbí kò fún wọn lọ́mọ Ẹlẹ́dùmarè bàbá lókè o bàbá. Oníṣẹ́ ọwọ́ gbogbo máa rí tọ́wọ́ ṣe káwọn oníṣòwò máa rere ọjà.
This is actually interesting. Like, okay, so the song you're listening to right now is Ọpẹ́ Fún Olúwa by Ebenezer Obey. Ebenezer Obey, like, did you hear the song? Okay, so we're going to wrap up the show very quickly. You know, we're talking about the Awori people. So very, very quickly, we're going to wrap up the show. And this is the part I actually don't like because I don't want to say goodbye. But do I have a choice? So, yes, let's look at the languages. The Awori people speak a distinct dialect, a distinct northwest Yoruba dialect of Yoruboid languages. Like, yeah, I know you've not heard this one before. So, yes, group of Yoruba languages, Yoruboid languages that belong to the larger Niger-Congo language group. So that's what the Awori people speak. The Awori as a subgroup possess a distinguished dialect. Their language is the low and slurred dialect of the Yoruba language. And they are also bilingual as they speak not only Yoruba, they speak Ogun and Edo, that is Benin languages, because they have some little ties to the Benin people. That's what the language is of the Awori people. And traditional festival for the Awori people, what they celebrate, they have Oro and Ore, they have Egungun, that's masquerade, they have Elegba, they have Igumoku, they have Okpa, they have Oshugbo, and they have Gelede festivals among the traditional sword communities, which are celebrated as people celebrate, the modern Salah and Christmas festivals, with indigents trooping back home from far and near when the dates for these festivals are fixed. So that's how those are the traditional festival of the Awori people. Let me take that again. The Oro and already Egungun, Elegba, Igomoko, Okpa, Oshugbo, and the Gelede festivals. Okay, so this is where we actually call it a wrap on today's episode of Travel with me, and I just don't like the fact that we are ending the show, but come on, that's why we bring different things, different exciting episodes to you every Tuesday at 5:20 p.m. And I'm sure if you tune in late, you wouldn't want to tune in late next week, because you're gonna be missing something. And if you know that you listen to this alone, come on, you're not being fair. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell another friend, tell another friend, and you keep telling friends that yes, there's a show on Lagoon Radio that takes you around the world at the comfort of your seats and at the comfort of your bed. Till I come your way next time, I remain your beautiful, beautiful host, sensational voice, amazing Jennifer Jubril. Keep it locked down on Lagoon Radio, and see you next time. Bye bye.